everybody. Welcome back to Tapping Into Life podcast. I am your host, Matthew B., and it is so good that each and every one of you have decided to come back and take the time out of your busy schedule to make you a better you. It is so great to see you all again. Welcome. Come on in. Make sure that you've grabbed your drinks, your snacks, so you can tune in to the greatness and the knowledge and the jewels that will be presented on today's episode. It is episode 2 of the podcast, of the Tapping Into Life podcast, and the topic is you and yours. And, I know some of you are inquiring, well, what are you talking about, you and yours? Like, okay. So we're going to get into it. I hope that each and every one of you enjoyed the first episode of the podcast. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed recording it. I thoroughly enjoyed looking back over it and hearing things that, one of those moments where you said something, you didn't think you said it, and when you realize you said it, you realize the power and the energy behind it. That episode was so welcoming. And to me, because I am so looking forward into taking this journey with you all, to me, the first episode meant so much, So, come on in. Welcome. I hope each and every one of you have grabbed your snacks, grabbed your drinks, so you can come on in and listen, and tune in and interact and think and ponder and plan and do whatever it is you need to do. All right. So the episode is you and yours. So what the topic stems from is we have this thing called a mind, right? And we use our mind each and every day. We use our mind to wake up. We use our mind to get dressed. We use our mind to go to work. We use our mind to go to class, cook, clean, love, be love, define, see, we gather information. We use our minds for so much stuff, right? But let me tell y'all something about this mind. You got to be disciplined in how to utilize your mind. Because sometimes our mind can get us in trouble. Sometimes our mind can be great. So we have to really know how we utilizing our mind, how we're going to utilize our mind. So when we think about the mind, right, in its entirety, I think about when I gather information, whether I feel something and I have to think about it, I have to ponder on it, or whether somebody, from the outside says something to me, whether it's good or bad, our mind takes on so much each and every day. It's like if the mind was a person and that person had to go to work each and every day, the amount of work that we do would be a fraction of what the mind does. So for all of us who work, 10 to 12 hour days now, I think that's a lot of us. We work in 10 to 12 hour days or 8 to 10 hour days, and we put in so much work. Just imagine that being an eighth, if not less, than what your mind does. Because your mind got to help you get ready and actually be able to do the physical work that you do. So the mind, it's I don't know. Like, that's something right there. When they say the mind is a terrible thing to waste, yeah, that's true. The mind is a terrible thing to waste. Oh, so I was thinking, which, even on my days off, and you would think that, oh, you're gonna rest your mind. Nah. Nah. It's a lot more to just resting your mind, because you got to make sure you did everything and got everything out the way so you'll be able to rest your mind. So I was thinking, I was doing some self-evaluating, some soul searching, some self-assessing, and I realized something, right? So I have the mind. And when I look at the mind in its entirety, it's constantly gathering information from any and everything outside of you and any and everything inside of you, right? Think about that. It's constantly gathering information from both inside and outside of you. Think about that. That's a lot. That's a lot. And what I gathered, when the topic is you and yours, the mind can be so moved. Your mind can be so moved. It could be changed. It could be manipulated. It could be corrected. It could be so many things. And in fact, each and every day, those things happen. Each and every day we encounter somebody whose mind changes. Their perception changes. Unfortunately, their minds may be manipulated. So many things the mind goes through. And so I was sitting here thinking, about the atmosphere, right? I was thinking about the atmosphere, and I was thinking about how you have some people who have different beliefs than others. These people always say, well, I'm gonna take that thought and I'm gonna put it in the universe. I'm like, okay, you're gonna put it in the universe. Now, I don't know their definition of the universe. That has nothing to do with me. That's none of my business. And until I get someone, on the podcast or have a conversation with someone who's able to go into depth about what that universe is and all that it contains, it's but so much information and so much things I'm going to say about it. But you know how they say, you're going to put stuff into the universe, put positivity into the universe, it's going to come back. If you put negativity into the universe, it's going to come back. If you put joy and happiness, it's going to come back. If you're going to put love, it's going to come back. If you put all these dark thoughts and things, that's in our mind, if you put that into the universe, it's going to come back. I'm like, wow. All right. So I was sitting here thinking, how people say, they're going to put things into the universe so that it can come back and it can manifest as it pertains to whatever it is that they want in their lives. And I'm thinking, during my journey, me and God got this relationship, right? And I sit with God in a realm of peace. I call it a realm of peace, right? Because no distraction, nothing, chaotic, no confusion, nothing jeopardizes, nothing penetrates this realm. Nothing bad comes into this realm and stir up stuff. So this is the realm that I go to when I want to talk to the God that I believe in. All right. And I was like, I like this realm of peace. Me and God created this realm of peace. We can just sit and chit chat. Sometimes it's through prayer, sometimes it's through fasting, sometimes it's through meditating, but we can just chit chat. And I talk to God, God talks to me. We get a clear understanding of the direction that we're going to go, and we cool, right? So I was talking to God. I'm like, do people realize how their atmosphere is affected? How their realm of peace is impacted? How it's easily tainted? How it can be so wonderful and such a great thing to step into? How there can be so much jewels and knowledge and revelation in their atmosphere if they take the time to censor what their mind takes in. Because when you look at it, we're looking at our atmosphere. Let's and I have to compare it like this. Let's say we're the earth, right? We're the earth. Now we have the atmosphere that's closer to earth, like to the land and the water and things. Then we have the atmosphere that's close to outer space, right? So that's way up here, right? Our atmosphere is one big space that surrounds us, that surrounds our spirit, that surrounds our soul, that surrounds our existence. It is one big space. And it's a lot of space. It's a lot of space. So think about you're the earth. You have things in you that'll impact your atmosphere. You have things out of you that would impact your atmosphere. It would affect it. So I'm sitting here, writing out podcasts, and I'm just writing like different notes and stuff. I'm going over notes, and I'm trying to find a title. And the thing came, you and yours. That was the topic. That was the words that came to my mind. Right? And so on today's episode, I'm going to drop some jewels to let you know a little something. Your mind dictates how your atmosphere is created, right? Your mind dictates everything that is inside your atmosphere. Now, imagine if you had a goal in life. Imagine your feelings in life. And you say, I'm going to put that in my atmosphere. I'm going to put that in my atmosphere. To some, that's my realm of peace. To some, that's the prayer closet. As the old school Christians say, your prayer closet. You're in that realm where you can put any and everything in there. You can speak any and everything. And if it's good, it will come to pass. And if it's bad, it would come to pass. So you got to be careful in what you speak in your atmosphere now, because your atmosphere will dictate what the next move of your life is. And a lot of us, we don't realize that. A lot of us, we go and we're judging other people. We're speaking hateful things. We're thinking, hateful thoughts. Y'all don't realize that that's in this atmosphere. That's in this atmosphere. Biblically speaking, there's this scripture and it says, paraphrasing, the power of the tongue speaks life and death. And whoever love its power, or, in some version Bible, some other versions of the Bible, it says, whoever believe in its power shall partake in its fruit. So we have to begin in this atmosphere to speak positivity. This atmosphere, this helps us in life. This helps us in life. Everything in that atmosphere is going to play a part in your next move in life. Whether it's a job, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a friendship, how you deal with your family, how you get over anger, how you heal, everything. Your atmosphere plays a part. Think about it like Earth. The atmosphere has to be in certain conditions for certain things to happen on the Earth. It's just like in us. Our atmosphere has to be in certain conditions in order for things to happen in life for us as it pertains to us and our individual journeys. So my question is, what is the condition of your atmosphere? What is the condition of your atmosphere? So when we think about atmosphere, now that we got an idea of exactly what it is, there's a lot that goes on. It's a lot that goes on. Some things that are good, some things that are bad, right? And we have to learn how to dictate what lives in our atmosphere and what we need to get out of our atmosphere and what we're going to prevent from coming into our atmosphere, whether it's from the outside of us or the inside of us. Right? So let's start on the outside of us, because that is really important in our process here. So we're in our atmosphere, before we really begin to really know who we are, way before you begin to tap into the real identity of you, we have this thing where this thing called stereotypes. We have this thing called iniquity. We have this thing called own understanding. Yeah, we got some things that comes in from the outside that manifests differently every single day. Right? So we got this atmosphere, and we're assessing this atmosphere, and we're knowledgeable that this atmosphere will dictate every move we make in life. It would dictate our thoughts, and our thoughts would dictate it. It would dictate our thoughts, and our thoughts would dictate it. Think about it. Think about it. What you think would dictate your next move. Why? Because when you think it, it's in the atmosphere. And if it's something negative and it's not taken care of, if it's not eliminated within a certain amount of time, then it begins to manifest. And as we look at our lives, and we rewind in our head some of the things that have gone on in our lives, and we like, it's been some stuff in my life that ain't it. That ain't it. It was not beneficial. It was very detrimental. It wasn't good. It made me mad. It made me sad. It hurt. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, that has happened in our lives. A lot of stuff that we ain't healed from. A lot of stuff that we ain't figured out. A lot of stuff, a lot of lessons we ain't learned. And we ask ourselves, why is it so hard to heal? Why is it so hard to forgive? Why is it so hard to learn this lesson? What detail am I missing? What information am I missing? You're not missing anything. You're not missing anything. Everything that you need to know to make it to the next point in your life is in your atmosphere. Everything that you need to know to heal, everything that you need to know to be successful, everything that you need to know to forgive, everything that you need to know to be a good parent, a good family member, a good spouse, every single thing, it's there. And you'll find after a while that everything that you sought out to look for has been in your face all along. You just didn't see it. So the question is, well, why don't I see it? Because iniquity had you not to see it. That was the primary goal of iniquity, to know that you're so knowledgeable and you have so much in you that I'm going to blind you from you realizing that you have it in you. And people don't know. See, people think, okay, it speaks about iniquity in the Bible, and yeah, it speaks about iniquity in this book, and yeah, we hear it from this saying and that saying, and yet people diminutize the full power that iniquity have initially, right? So initially, this is a big thing here. Initially, it's so big and so powerful. But once you begin to tap into the real you, once you begin to tap into the truth about yourself, so that means you can fix yourself, it starts to lose power. It starts becoming smaller and smaller. You start to detach yourself from it because you realize that there's something greater than what you think is. So when we go back to our atmosphere is polluted by iniquity. It's polluted by iniquity. It's tainted. It's polluted. It has so many iniquity toxins and it's so many iniquity things in it, like to the point where everything that's supposed to be there to help you out is now tainted, right? It's tainted, it's poisoned, it's compromised. So now when you need those things, and I'm going to use an example. When you need those things, by the time you need it, it manifested to something that's totally different from what actually is supposed to be. So let's use an example. So let's say, you're born, right? You're born 10 years ago, you're born 20 years ago, you're born 30 years ago. However old you are, that many years ago you were born, right? And so you grow, you become a little kid, a little toddler, little kid. Then you come like 10 years old and 11 and 12. And, a lot of this stuff, you're really not paying attention to a lot of stuff that's in your atmosphere because it doesn't pertain to you at that moment in your life, right? And so what is happening is some of us have enjoyed childhood as we should. But negative things have been spoken into our atmosphere. And a lot of this stuff ain't from our parents. It ain't from who raised us. Some of it is, but a lot of stuff isn't. So we're gonna keep going. So you get to teenage years and stuff like that, and that's when you really start needing these things that are in your atmosphere. You need to know, okay, how am I going to be this man or woman of this certain race, following this certain culture, in this certain religion, you know, in this certain town, in this certain state, in this certain country, on this certain side of the world? That's the questions that us as teenagers, as teenagers in our those earlier years, we were teenagers. That's the questions, right? What I'm going to do? How am I going to? What I'm going to do to become popular? How am I going to be accepted? Uh, I'm kind of nervous because something happened way back when, and I may have lost a leg, or I may be blind, or I may have a certain condition that affects my skin or affects my hair, or or how I speak, and I'm coming to this new country, and I have this accent, and so many people don't know what I'm talking about, and half the time I don't know what they're talking about, because the language that they speaking in this country, I don't even know what it is in this country. It ain't the language that I spoke in my country. So we're going and we're trying to be accepted. So now we got to pull everything out of this atmosphere, and we got to open it up. We got to assess it. We have to unpack it. We have to apply. We got to analyze it. What iniquity does, iniquity makes you think that the tainted jewels and the tainted information is okay. It's right. This is what's going to get you accepted. This is what's going to get you, to this point in your life. This is what's going to get you to become popular. This is what's going to get you to get that job. That's what it does. That's what it does. So it makes everything that you're pulling from that atmosphere of yours, it makes it all right. It has you thinking that this is right. So I'm going to apply it. And so we begin to apply it. And then we get to our younger 20s. We're coming out of our teenage years, and we get to our younger 20s, anywhere between 20 and 25. Let's stop there. So by that time, we have consumed everything that we was pulling in our teenage years. We consumed that. That begins to manifest. Now we're in this whole journey where, whole part of our journey where we think this is right. And because we think this is right, this is going to create us to be who we want to be instead of who we need to be. So it begins to make up our existence on this earth, right? It begins to make up our existence on this earth. So Sally is popular. John is what they may have called a geek. People of a certain size don't fit in and can't be associated with this, with people of this size. Your skin complexion, your gender, your sexual orientation. Y'all know what I'm talking about. In order for me to be accepted, I got to compromise who I am. In order for me to be accepted, I have to cover up the real me. So I can't walk in my truth. I can't walk in my truth. So because I'm African American, I got to listen to rap and R&B and jazz. I can't listen to that country song over there. I can't listen to that rock song over there. I can't listen to the orchestra over here. Because I'm a certain race. This is the type of music I listen to. I'm from the Middle East. This is certain. I got to dress a certain way. These stereotypes, because I'm black, this is what I'm going to amount to because I'm black. Because I'm white, I can't do certain things that African Americans do, like rap, like, do hip hop dancing. I can't do these things. I really want to be a journalist, but because I'm a certain race, I can't do that. I really want to enjoy my friends on Christmas, but because I believe in a different culture, I can't do that. I really want to, I don't mind, what's my example? Oh, I don't mind playing football, going to the NFL, winning some championship rings, going to the Super Bowl. Oh, that's right. Those dreams been shot down. Why? Because you may be a female. And as powerful as we are to break these barriers, and we see it every day, history is being made. We got people in the White House that we didn't even think that we would see in the White House. We have women holding positions that we didn't even think that they would hold. We have people of color making decisions because they're in positions that we didn't even think that they were going to be in. We have the LGBT community getting married, and we didn't think that we were ever going to be able to get married. We're making history, no matter the sexual orientation, the culture, the religion, the race, the gender. We're making history, and the reason why we're making history is because we decided that we were not going to let what people threw at us in regards to our atmosphere, the things that was allowed to enter our atmosphere unbeknownst to our knowledge. We didn't let those things dictate our next move. We got a hold and control over those things and said, you know what? You have no business here. Your time here is up. Think about it. There would be no Bill Gates. There would be no Oprah Winfrey. There would be no Beyonce. There would be no Channing Tatum. There would be no Viola Davis. There would be no Mark Zuckerberg. There would be no Warner Brothers. There would be no Wrights Brothers. There would be, there's a lot of people that would not be if they allowed that toxic atmosphere to hinder them from realizing who they actually are. So think about it. you're out of college, you're in your early 20s, like I said, from 20 to 25, this is like your training grounds. Like, this is like your training camp here. In your 20s is your training camp. The first half it's a doozy. Now that second half it start getting a little easier because you start knowing which direction you're gonna go in life. But the younger you are, the easier it is for somebody or some enemy to come in and spew toxicness all in your atmosphere because they know that you're not going to pay attention to it. They know that you're so busy playing with your fire truck or your Barbie dolls, you ain't even cautious. You have no sense of awareness that your atmosphere is being tainted, that it's being poisoned. So you're in your younger 20s. You'd be like, oh man, all right, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be this doctor. One or two things gonna happen. Either A, you gonna feel like you can be a doctor, or B, you gonna feel like you're not worthy to be a doctor. One or two things are gonna happen. You're gonna speak it into your atmosphere that you're gonna be that doctor one day. Or you're gonna speak it into your atmosphere that I ain't worthy. I ain't ish. I ain't gonna be ish. Look at me. I was raised in a certain type of neighborhood. I'm this race. I'm this gender. Nobody's gonna accept me. Nobody is going to give me a chance. I'm useless. When you speak those things in your atmosphere, do y'all realize those things start manifesting? So if you say, and nobody's going to see me for my greatness, you know what? Nobody is going to see you for your greatness. I'm not worthy. I'm not fit. I'm not qualified. You know what's going to happen? You're not going to be worthy. You're not going to be fit. You're not going to be qualified. Why? Because you woke up and chose death of your dreams. You woke up and chose death of your greatness. You woke up and chose death of your prosperity. You did. It ain't nobody else's problem but yours. But when you say, I'm going to be that doctor. Yeah, I was raised in the hood, because they got this stereotype by people in the hood, they don't grow up to be successful, but look, we showed them. Those who was in the hood, y'all showed these people what y'all really made of. All you athletes and actors and actresses and singers and musicians and politicians, y'all really showed them. Y'all look at them and say, try again. So let's say you're this person. I'm going to be that doctor. Yeah, I was raised in a rough neighborhood, but I'm going to be that doctor. I'm going to be that doctor. I'm going to gather everything I need to gather. I'm going to make good grades. I'm going to go to college. I am willing to go through this headache of of sitting in this boring behind class for an hour just to get my degree in the medical field. I'm going to be that doctor. Oh, you're not going to be a doctor. You was raised in the hood. So what? I'm going to show you better than I can tell you. Somebody say something negative you about your dream. Well, you can take you and your negative thoughts about me and my dream and mind your business and get on up out of here. Sometimes this is how, sometimes if you want to Detach yourself from iniquity. That means that you got to cut some people off. You got to distance yourself from certain people. All them naysayers, if it's hindering you, if it's detrimental to your health, or to your life and your spiritual growth, and not beneficial to your life and your spiritual growth, and getting to where you need to get to, you're gonna have to distance yourself from them. Some of them you're gonna have to cut off. Sometimes that is friends that you've been friends with for a long time. Sometimes that is family members. And a lot of us, we don't want to cut family members off. We don't want to distance ourselves from family members. But I'm here to tell you, sometimes your reluctant behavior, that reluctant mindset will get you nowhere, will hinder you every time. And I had to learn that too. Not necessarily family, but it was more of some friends I had to distance myself from and detach myself from, because it's like, I'm trying to grow spiritually here. I'm trying to be great. I'm trying to have all of these positive things in my atmosphere. And here you come. Every time you turn around and get on the phone, you start gossiping and talking negative and naysaying and doubting, and it be draining. It be very, very, very draining. How many of y'all have had these people that y'all were friends with, y'all was cool with, you had a season where y'all were just the best of friends? And then, like, out of nowhere, all of a sudden they call you and be like, okay, I'm gonna call you back. All right, bye-bye. Lord Jesus. I don't even have the energy to do my laundry no more. I don't have the energy to cook. I'm about to tell these kids to make a bologna sandwich. Lord have mercy. Oh, I was supposed to mop the floor, but I can't even mop the floor. I can't even get up. I'm just going to sit here for another 50 minutes. And every time that you talk to that person, it's like that. They're draining your positivity. They're draining your motivation. Motivation is a positive thing, but they're draining your motivation. They're draining your positivity. They're draining your as some people call it. They're draining all of that. Because you are allowing these people to speak things in your atmosphere. And you know what happens? Your mind takes that in. And you know what happens? What the mind takes in, the rest of your spiritual body feels. Your mind is the mouth of your spirit. Let's be clear. Your mind is the mouth of your spirit. So just like if I eat an orange and I consume that orange, what am I going to get from it? Vitamin C. What does vitamin C do? Help the immune system. I ate a fruit. I ate food. And my body consumed the nutrients from that food. And those nutrients help me in my immune system, in my skin, in my fingernails, and my eyesight, or whatever. It gives me energy, the whole nine. Sometimes in your atmosphere, your mind consumes certain things that it ought not to be consuming. Sometimes in your atmosphere, your mind consumes negative, dark food that you don't need to be eating. And once you eat it, you consume it, and you gather the nutrients from it, or lack thereof, or whatever that food contains. It's just like a donut. As much as we like donuts got sugar. As much as we like that cake got sugar. As much as we love Mountain Dew got a lot of sugar. But what happens? We consume those foods. We consume those unhealthy foods. Those foods that are more detrimental than beneficial. And what happens? If we keep consuming it, it begins to take a toll on our body, it begins to become detrimental because it was never beneficial. It was detrimental. So the detrimental begins to manifest in health problems, those kind of health problems. It's the same thing with the mind. It's the same thing with the mind. So if the mind is like a mouth and ears. If it hears something, it's going to consume it. If it feels something, it's going to speak it. So if I say to you, you're nothing, you're never ever going to be anything, what happens there? What happens there? Your mind heard that, consumed it, and you start believing it. Your emotions begin to act by way of what the mind fed it. But this is what we have to do, right? What we have to do is, if I tell you you're nothing, you never ever gonna be anything, we gotta be so there and so ready that when stuff that like that comes at us, we look, okay, that's your opinion. What you think of me and your opinion ain't got nothing to do with me. If it's not beneficial, it ain't entering all of this, because all of this is positive, not negative. Negative has no room for positive. For no room to be in here. It's all positive here. So if it ain't positive, if it ain't beneficial to my spiritual growth, you can take that and you can shove it. That's what we have to think. That's how we have to respond. You're never ever going to be that doctor you keep talking about. Okay. Okay. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. All right. I'm going to study for my medical exam. You're never ever going to be that lawyer you're talking about. Okay. I'm going to go and study for my bar exam. And within 48 hours, I'll let you know what happens. You gotta stay ready so you don't gotta get ready. Because some of these people, I'm gonna tell you now, toxicness, like people are so toxic because they got their own issues to deal with. They got their own problems to deal with. So it's like if I'm telling you, we're going back to this example, if I'm telling you you ain't nothing, that you never gonna be anything, I got some stuff in me that I got to deal with. Either A, I don't see it, or B, I don't feel the need to change. But there's some stuff inside of me that I have to deal with. But what happens is I may not know how to deal with it. I may not know how to identify it. It has been so, embedded in me and in my spiritual DNA that the only thing I can do is project my insecurities, my hurt, and my pain on you. So we have to learn how to not let everybody else's problems poison our atmosphere. Because the moment we do that, we jeopardize who we are. This is our lives. Our lives has nothing to do with whatever else somebody else is going through. Okay? Our lives have nothing to do with that. All right? Our assignment, our purpose in life does. But just because your friend going through whatever it is they going through, and they may not have the opportunities and have these windows of opportunities like you have, don't mean that you put you on hold because you feel like you got to tiptoe around your friend. So if your friend is saying, hey, I never get to, all this stuff don't happen to me. I mean, you done got accepted into college. You got you a new car. You got a good paying job. You got you a nice man. You got your nice woman. Must be nice. Wish I could have that. Like, all this stuff is happening to you. Okay, it is. What you trying to say? What you trying to say? Because I noticed that you've been a little distant. Like, I'm blessed. I've been rewarded because I worked hard and I believe and I spoke these things in my atmosphere. This is why they happen. This is why I have all this stuff that you said I have. I'm not flaunting it. I'm not throwing it in your face. I'm not weaponizing it to take you down. If anything, open up your mouth and ask me how I got this, and I'll tell you how to get it. But what we do is we tiptoe, oh, well, I'm not going to go to this college because my friend Joe is going to miss me if I go on the other side of the country. Joe will be okay for 4 years. Trust me. I guarantee you, Joe will find another friend. Trust me. I guarantee you, Joe will learn how to dial their cell phone number. Joe will learn how to hit that button in video chat. Joe will learn how to work hard so he can save some money so he can, periodically he can fly on the other side of the country to see you. But that's a whole different topic. I'm getting off topic. Let me get back in the topic now. Because this whole atmosphere thing is so much that affects the atmosphere. It could be 50 million topics out of this one episode. But I'm just going to get to the general. So we have to learn when people come at us. Right? And we got to learn how to, you stay over there. So what you saying and how you feeling and the energy that you bring in, that's detrimental to me and mine. That's detrimental to this and detrimental to this. Nah, we good. You keep that energy over there. At the same time, it ain't always the outside people, the people that's standing on the outside. It ain't always them. Because you know what? Some of that stuff we take in and we speak it into our own atmosphere. We poison our own atmosphere. Like I said, when you consume something, you begin to produce the fruit of it. And when you produce the fruit of it because you consumed it voluntarily, let me add that word, voluntarily. Somebody said, you ain't nothing, you ain't never gonna be nothing, and you let that affect you, that means you have voluntarily partook in that fruit that person said to you. So what do you say? You get so wrapped up in your feelings. What happens? You begin to speak out of your mouth, I ain't nothing and I ain't never gonna be nothing. I ain't worthy of this and I ain't worthy of that. Why? Because somebody said something to you. Somebody gave you that fruit, that food, that Thanksgiving meal that was poison. You consumed it and began to produce the fruit of it. Somebody gave you a seed. You planted it into your atmosphere, into your fertile ground, and look what happened. Now you're producing fruits. Y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? When somebody gives you a seed, right? Somebody give you a seed and you take that seed and you put it into your soil, your fertile ground. You better watch that because that fertile ground is going to become tainted. But when that seed sprout up and it start producing fruit, and you start partaking in that fruit, and you start acting like that fruit, you be like, what in the world wrong with me? What in the world is wrong with me? I'm going to tell you what's wrong with you. You planted the seed of a troubled spirit that had nothing to do with you inside of you. So because you did that, that means you bear the fruit of something that had nothing to do with you. I can wrap this podcast up now. Thank you, God. I can wrap this podcast up. A lot of our problems ain't our problems. A lot of our problems because we allow people to plant seeds in our atmosphere that ain't had nothing to do with us. Junebug ain't my friend no more. But ain't anybody okay, and you will find more friends than Junebug. Ain't nobody. Why Junebug mad at you? Junebug mad at you because you did not come see him in prison. Junebug mad at you because you did not put money on his books for commissary. Ain't nobody tell Junebug to commit that felony crime that gave him 10 to 15 years in prison. Ain't nobody tell him to do that. Junebug decided to do that. So you know what? Junebug did the crime. Junebug gonna do the time, and you will be all right. You will make more friends than Junebug. So now you over here stressed out because somebody ain't your friend no more over something that they did. You allowing Junebug to plant a seed inside of you. So now you in your feelings because the daggone seed done manifested, and you up in your feelings feeling some type of way. You allowed a seed to grow and produce the fruit of something that had nothing to do with you. Come on now, y'all. Y'all take this podcast, and I wasn't even going to go past 45 minutes. Take this podcast and stick a pin in it, like push pin it somewhere in your head, in your heart, in your spirit, whatever. Write it down, screen record it, save it in your phone, because it's going to get deeper. Like this particular topic about your atmospheres and how it works and how it operates is going to branch off so many topics. And after we start getting all these topics out the way, how you deal with people, how you let people plant seeds in your atmosphere, how you talk to people, how you think, how you feel, all of this stuff is going to change. And if that means losing people, then so be it. Because this is you we're talking about. This is you we're talking about. Your life has everything to do with you and nobody else. If that person does not call you mommy or daddy, if you do not have any legal custody over that person, nobody else. Your life has nothing to do with nobody else. Except for those who have that you have legal guardianship over. So if that means that you got to lose some friendships to make you a better you, choose ye this day which direction you gonna go. Because that friendship is gonna compromise you and gonna stop everything that's good that can come out of you. Your self-discovery, your true identity, your full magnitude. It's all gonna it's gonna stop because of that one friend, that one situation, that one job, that one whatever. That thing that's hindering your spiritual growth and is detrimental to your spiritual growth, if you don't let it go and you keep allowing it to plant seeds in your atmosphere, and you wondering why your problems are with your half of y'all problems ain't got nothing to do with y'all, but the people that you allowed to plant seeds in your atmosphere. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm getting in trouble. That's all I'm saying. We had an hour. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining in. I hope I didn't ruffle any feathers, but if I did, it's okay. You'll thank me later, okay? Thank you all for joining in for episode 2 of the podcast. Come on back next week as we dive into another topic. I'm going to take this topic and I'm just going to branch, ideas off this topic. Because like I said, it's so much to take from this. So just be on the lookout. There's more episodes of the podcast coming. Like and subscribe to the Instagram, and also like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. YouTube channel is at Tapping Into Life, all one word, Tapping Into Life. And then the Instagram is tapping_into_life. Hey, I tried my best to get them both the same, but it didn't work. But so yeah. So I once again, I appreciate you for making you a better you. And until next time, stay positive, clean up that atmosphere, and we'll see you back here next week. Take care, guys.